What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here with Amir. We've just beaten Southampton by 3-1. Doesn't really feel like we've won a game today because it's just been like a game that has been sapped, energy sapping. It's just been so boring and lethargic and laboured. I mean, that second half was one of the worst second half football I've seen for a while. I mean, you're looking at ending the game with a win. You would have thought, oh, you had enjoyed yourself watching that game today. I didn't enjoy myself at all.
Well, do you know what, Ben? I think that the real highlight of the day for me was what happened pre-game, and it was all about that, to be honest with you. I think the protests, the coming together of fans, the pressure being applied on Levy and Enoch, I think that's what's needed to get us forward. This game didn't really mean anything to Southampton. They've already gone down pretty much. Our Premier League season's been over for a while. It's all about Thursday. It's all about Frankfurt, what we can do out in Germany. When it comes down to today, look, we got a little 2-0 lead in the first half, which was nice. Johnson with the first goal was a decent finish, and then the second I thought was a very, very professional, neat finish into the corner. And then, look, we had what for me killed the game and the momentum of it all, and why it became a bore fest in the second half was that VAR decision. You're waiting about, what was it, 5 or 6 minutes for them to decide an offside, and then I couldn't see the offside myself on the screen. I'll have another look at it when I get home.
They showed it on the screen on thing. It was like Coutinho's shoulder was offside. I mean, they're waiting 6 minutes to come to that. It's just ridiculous. I mean, if it takes past a certain time, they should just go with what's been called on field.
100%. If it's not clear and obvious, a minute, maybe a minute and a half max, and then get on with the game. It really kills the flow. But I thought, really we should have been 3-0 up and cruising. Of course, we just in the second half, we let them back into the game. Slowly but surely, they kind of were pulling their way back in. And then literally a minute before they scored, I was saying to Miles and my dad, it looks like they're going to get back in this. And then they nick a goal. And of course, goes to 2-1. You think, oh my God, here we go again. It's going to be, they're going to nick another one. But a very bad challenge on Johnson in the box led to a penalty in the 93rd minute. And luckily, look, we had no one to take it. So I was kind of like, who's going to take it? It was a bit of a worry, but
I don't get why they don't get Johnson to take it on his hat-trick.
On his hat-trick, that's what I was thinking. They would let him, but I guess maybe he's been banging them in training. So
maybe he just needs a bit of confidence as well.
Confidence. He needs the goal in front of the home crowd, and he stepped up. I thought, to be honest, it wasn't the best penalty, but they all count if they go in. So
to be fair to him, keeper dived the right way, still went in. Kind of was pretty much on very much on the side of the goal. But you look at the team lineup today. That was very much a team lineup of a manager under pressure, because you look at where we are in the league and you look at the magnitude of the game on Thursday, you would have thought he would have rested a lot more players than he did. But because he went full strength, I think Ange just looked at it saying, look, I just need a win by hook or by crook, no matter how it comes. Do you feel that same way?
Oh, 100%. I don't think it's just that. You look at keeping Solanke and Sonny on at half-time, I thought they'd be yanked off straight away. Maddison as well. And you might have seen maybe some of the younger stars come on and get a few more minutes. But it wasn't to be. Look, Ange, I get it. He wants to protect his place at the club. He really did need these 3 points today. It's not the 3 points that will keep him here. It's all about Frankfurt and that Europa League for me. The one thing I do agree with Ange on is the whole VAR scandal, because I really do think it's killing part of the game. The fact that Chelsea, we waited about 12 minutes for 2 decisions, and here we waited another 5-6 minutes for a decision to be made. Yeah, it's not a good look.
It's just ruining the game, these kind of things, and that's one thing I can definitely agree with Ange Postecoglou, because
one of the only things I agree with him
literally, because he bangs on about it, Ryan. He's so right when he talks about it, because you're just waiting, disrupts the flow of the game, and you're just like literally waiting for some bullshit decision to come through.
It could go either. It could be, if it was given this way or that way, and you've made the effort of scoring a goal. Scoring a goal in football is one of the hardest things to do. And you instead of being 2-0 up, you're 3-0 up. It changes the game. It changes the dynamic. It puts another dagger in the heart of the opponent. And I think if that decision is made our way and it's 3-0, we go on to maybe cruise that one, 4 or 5. But yeah, look, 3-1 at the end of the
That doesn't excuse like how we came out for that second half though, because it was so slow, man.
nervy.
Do you reckon it was? No, I don't know what it was. It was just like two poor teams, just pretty much. It was just like so stop-start as well. So many fouls in the middle of the park. Dom Solanke couldn't make it stick at all today. I was really disappointed with what Solanke showed in the 9 because the amount of times it was getting fed into his feet or fed into his head, and either he would lose it or he would win it and then lose it straight away, and it would like kind of bounce off him. And he was really poor display.
I get that. I think it wasn't his best performance, but I'm also looking at my manager to be seeing that, right? If I see my players struggling and, you know, we need him on Thursday, just take him off at half time. Put Tell on, or, you know, we're 2-0 up anyway.
Why start him?
Some things don't quite add up, but I think, like you said, it's to do with the pressure that he's under. He knew that anything but a win here, and you know that might have been his head on the chopping block.
Do you think that was a performance of a team with an eye on Thursday, or do you think that's a performance of, or not just this performance, but also a recent performance of a team not really believing in their manager?
Look, I think there was still a bit of belief for what Andrew's doing, because the players were still putting in effort in that first half. It was kind of the second half for me is where they're thinking about Thursday.
Even the second half for me was fairly poor. I mean, we were winning just because Southampton were really poor, in my opinion. We put a few patterns of nice goals together and a few patterns of play, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, it was it, and I think that's why it was part of the reason is that there's just such an eye on Thursday. The players are thinking, do I want to go in for a challenge now 100%, or I'll go in 70%, we're 2-0 up, we've got Thursday, we've got Frankfurt, biggest game of the season. I think that has a lot to do with it, you know, mentally as well. That chance Sonny had, you know, when he went through, beautiful ball played through to him, I think it was Maddison, and yeah, he just didn't have it in his legs. That old Sonny would have cut in and buried that all day long.
I think he's injured, by the way. I think he's injured. Because after when he went off, he went straight down the tunnel. When he came out, I was literally recording it all. They looked like they were doing something with his knee or something, or like strapping something up. When he came on the pitch after the game, he wasn't strapped up or anything, but he was walking a bit, kind of limping a little bit. So I think he's done something there. Nothing confirmed, this is just what I'm seeing.
Well, that's the first I'm hearing of it, guys, and that's a huge worry for me, and that's even more on Ange if he didn't yank him off at half time and just kept him on. Like, yeah, I hope that's
Look, I hope it's more. I'm making more out of it than what it is, but that's what I saw.
I hope so. Look, you never know. Maybe get the ice on, maybe a bit of inflammation. Hopefully he'll be fine for Thursday, because we need that quality. We need that world-class quality that Sonny brings to this team.
Any players really standing out for you today?
A couple for me. Spence, I thought, had a really, really good game. Every time he's on the ball, he just looks so confident, really, really good. And I think apart from that, Bergvall was my man. I think he was robbed for the goal. Absolutely robbed. Should have had his another goal in Lily White. So
Pedro Porro
was all right. I still expect a little bit more, because I know of that delivery that he can get. I expect a little bit more from Porro, but for me, Spence and Bergvall were the kind of standout, and obviously Johnson, you know, getting the 2 goals. Apart from the 2 goals, he didn't do too much.
Classic Johnson, isn't it? Classic Johnson.
But look, that's all you know what? That's what I want from my winger, to score goals, create things. He won the penalty, scored 2 goals. I can't ask much more. If he keeps doing that, you know, every other game, I'll be delighted with the young fella.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the issue with Spurs right now, because what you said there is exactly my feelings about Jed Spence and about Lucas Bergvall, right? You can basically say that about any single Spurs game over the last 3 months, that these guys are the only ones that are impressing at the moment. Why can't these other players perform right now? I just don't get it.
No, look.
Because they're good players.
We have a good bunch of players. I tend to lean towards it being a mental and psychological block that not just holds our players back, but also holds the whole club back.
But it's a lot of players to not play well over a sustained amount of time. You're talking about 2-3 months here, maybe even longer.
It is, but you got to also think in those 2-3 months, a lot of players have come back from injury, coming back, not so fresh. It does take time to get back to like peak match fitness. So I think this whole season's been kind of up and down, obviously a lot more down than up. But we can change that. It's in our hands. We have this game against Frankfurt on Thursday. If we can get in the lead, couple goal lead, go into Germany feeling good, and then you're in a semi-final. Anything can happen once you're in that position, but it's all about focusing on Frankfurt, being professional, getting the job done. It will be so difficult. It's going to be so difficult. They're a fantastic side, and those German fans, supporters, they're going to come over in full voice. So yeah, it's in our hands, it's in Ange's hands, it's in the players' hands. No more mentality blocks, no more psychological issues. Let's put it all aside, go out, beat Frankfurt, and semi-final of the Europa, here we come. That's what we need.
Yeah, all eyes on Frankfurt now, people. Good to get the win. Not with the greatest performance by any stretch of the imagination, and against the poorest side in the league's got to be said as well. But all in all, very good to get 3 points again and have that winning feeling going into that Frankfurt.
In the sun, it's beautiful out here. It's absolutely a gorgeous day in North London.
So we move on to Frankfurt, which is our biggest game of the season, people. Quick word on the protest, because you didn't make the last one, did you? So the first protest that you've been to. Talk to me about your feelings around it. Were you happy with the turnout?
I'm happy with the turnout. I think it will only gain more and more traction. I invite everyone to come down. I think it was a great atmosphere. Saw a lot of different people about singing, chanting. There were some really funny chants and songs going on. Check it out. Do have a look. And you know, if you do want change for this club, come along, support the protest, support the people that want to breed mentality of success and winning things at this club, because that's what we need and that's what we've lacked in these 24 years since Levy and Enoch took over. One trophy in that time, in nearly a quarter of a century, is not good enough. And Ben, you know, we're of the same age. We grew up at the same time. We had more FA Cups than Arsenal. Look at what they did in that time and what we did. It's just simply not good enough. Things need to change. And I do think that protesting and applying pressure is the best way to do that.
All right, you heard it. If you want to get your voices heard, get down to the next protest. I'm sure there will be plans from now until the end of the season. But for now, it is all eyes on Frankfurt, people. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.